Last time on Super Saddlers.
Oh my gosh, we scored. 4 minutes in, Sam Manton has scored. I didn't see the goal because the game was lagging. Let's go back and check the replay. Obeng gets a cross in. Cook at the back post, and Cook has made it 2-0. Obeng with a long throw here. Beata flicks it on. Downing at the back post. Downing has scored. Was it Beata? It's Beata's goal. 3-0 at Wembley. Manton, Henry, Sawyers, Bradshaw puts away. That's his 23rd league goal of the season, 29th goal in all competitions, and he makes it 4-0. Game, set, and match. We are going up. Say we are going up. We are going up. Say we are going up. We are going up. Say we are going up. Full time here at Wembley Stadium. It is Walsall 4, Swindon 0.
Alright guys, how you doing? Romana here, back again with another episode of Super Saddlers. It is now the second season after promotion through the playoffs last season, and I must say I did play on a bit longer than expected, but we're back. Not the best start. As you can see here on the right hand side, we have played 8, we have won no games, we have 4 points on the board. So before we start into today's game against Ipswich, let's have a look at our fixtures so far. So pre-season went pretty well. We played Barnet, winning 3-1. Anthony Ford scored twice and Paul Downing. We then played AFC Telford, winning 1-0 with Jamie Hopcutt scoring. Oxford was a 1-1 draw with Sawyer scoring. We then lost 3-0 to Man City. First game of the season, Middlesbrough, a 2-2 draw. Thierry Ambrose and Michael Caine scoring. I thought at this point that it could be a good season for us. We then went on to the Capital One Cup, winning 3-1 against Plymouth, with Jamie Hopcutt scoring twice and Liam Kinsella getting sent off, this silly boy. And then this happened. We went to Wigan, we lost 2-0. Went to Burnley, we lost 3-0. Went to Brighton, lost 2-0. Wigan again, and lost 2-0 in the Cup. And then we started to hit some form with a 1-1 draw against Derby, with Sawyer scoring. 1-1 draw with Notts Forest, with Sawyer scoring again. And another 1-1 draw with Hull, with Tom Bradshaw scoring and Tom him getting sent off. We then went to Sheffield Wednesday and lost 2-1 with Liam Fontaine scoring. So there might be a few names there you didn't recognise. So let's have a look at our transfers. As you can see, there are quite a few players came in this summer, but not much money spent, just under £1 million. We have Marco Materazzi, the Italian. He mainly came in, he was a good player. I didn't really want to get him as a player at his age. When it comes up it will show. 42 years old, but he was a decent player in that centre back role. But I have got him on a player, I think he's the under 21s assistant manager. Let's have a quick look when it loads up. Yeah, so he's a player and the 21s assistant manager. So he's on quite a bit when it comes to wages, 5.75k a week. But I wanted to get him in. Then I had Zach Thompson on a free from Leeds. His stats will come up shortly. So he's a centre mid, fairly good potential, 22 years old. And then David James, another golden oldie, as you'd want to call him, 45-year-old goalkeeper. I did want to get him in as a goalkeeping coach, but I think in the end he is a player and under 21s manager, I think he is. So yeah, we have James Atkinson from Queen of the South, over in Scotland, I think that is. Goalkeeper, 20 years old, good potential again. Josh Falkingham from Dunfermline for 47.5k. At the time when I did buy him, he did have, his ability was higher than that, but then we bought in other players, so obviously compared to them it did go down, but he's a fairly decent player. Ronan Coughlin, he's a youngster from Huddersfield, 18 years old, fairly good potential. He's now on loan at Wickham. Paul McShane on a free transfer from Hull, another one on quite high wages, and 29 years old, £5,750 per week, but he is a good player, a bit of experience there as well, so I was happy to pay the wages for him. Jamie Hopcutt from, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but got him on loan. 23 years old, winger, he's a decent player, he's a good player. Liam Fontaine on a free transfer, he's actually a player I did look at last season, but couldn't afford his wages, so this season I've got him in. 29 years old, fairly decent, more likely going to be a bench player. Ebo Ando on a free transfer from Port Vale. His stats will come up as well. He's a youngster, 22 years old, fairly good potential again. Stephen Hendry on loan from West Ham. Fullback, if I remember correctly. Yep, left back. We were quite sure in that position since I did let Rico Henry go out on loan and Malvin Benning go out on loan, both to Burton. So I did get him in on loan. 20 years old though, he's a good player. So him and Andy Taylor can battle for that left back position. We then have Thierry Ambrose on loan from Man City, a striker or a winger. As you can see, good player here. He can battle with that striker for position when you do play strikers with Bradshaw, but he can also play on the wing. 18 years old. Greg Lee, another left back, if I do remember correctly. Yep, another left back, just for depth. He's more likely going to be a bench player, but he has got good potential. Tom Tywell from Falkirk on loan, centre mid. His stats will pop up in a bit, if you can have a quick look. Ball winning midfielder, 25 years old, a decent player from Nigeria. Ashley Fletcher, a young striker from Man United. When his stats won't pop up, 19 years old, fairly good stats, good potential there. 13 finishing, it's not bad. Curtis Obeng, we did get him on a free transfer from Swansea. So he should have been, if you saw my Twitter, he should have been League One's Player of the Year last season. He had the highest average rating over the league and the most player of the matches, but somehow he didn't get it. 26 years old, and he is a good player. We didn't get, I'm not going to pronounce his whole name, I'm just going to call him Savage, from Man United on loan, the young goalkeeper. His stats will also pop up when my laptop starts being a cunt, pardon my French. 18 years old, sweeper keeper, says his best role is there. But as you can see, good ability, good potential, good stats all round. Jarrell Sellars on a free transfer. I think he was actually at Villa before that. But 19 years old, good potential again. Decent stats, 17 acceleration, bloody I didn't see that earlier. So yeah, a winger or a striker. Reece McCabe on a free transfer as well. And his stats on the popper. 23 years old, centre midfielder, good ability, good potential, good stats all round. Devine Nah, not Davina or Davina. Just shut up, Romano. Anyway, centre midfield, 19 years old, on loan from Man City, good potential, good ability. And last but not least, Pablo Maffeo, another fullback, yeah, a right back. Good potential there, just a bench player for some depth, young Spanish player. And out we have Jamie Peters on a free transfer, Ashley Grimes, Jay Keith, Liam Roberts, Reece Flanagan, Jordan Murphy, Amadou Bakayoko and Craig McGillivray all out on a free transfers now. James O'Connor got sold to Swindon for 150k. Malvin Benning, Rico Henry on loan to Burton. Delaney, Shakespeare, Reed on loan to Telford, and Coughlin on loan to Wickham. So all in all, I think it was a good transfer window for me, but my mistake was buying too many players in the same position. So once I signed the one player I thought was good, I then signed a player who is better, and now they're playing. The player I signed to begin with is now moaning that he won't get any playing time. So I'm going to try and swap it around as much as I can, but at the end of the day, my strongest 11 is my strongest 11. Anyway, enough chit chat from me, on to the game. So today's 11 is Savage in net, Hendry, McShane, Downing and Obeng in the back four, Tyro and Kinsella in the holding midfield position, Devine Nar in central midfield, Hopcutt, Bradshaw and Ford in that attacking midfield three. Again, we have gone with the strikerless formation here. I've now changed it from an attacking formation to a counter-attacking formation. Sam Sharman from Sky Sports News, he predicts that Ipswich and Walsall are two very evenly matched teams. He thinks a draw looks the most likely result. Paul Anderson and Boyata will both be missed by their respective sides. Ipswich is made the favourites here, and their status is that a defeat for them could see them slide into the relegation zone. Their key man is Bartov or I hate names. Ipswich Town have only conceded 9 goals in the 9 games that the goalkeeper has played in. Our status is that we know that a win could see us move out of the relegation zone and into 21st place. Our key man is Paul McShane. The commanding centre back will be looking to make things difficult for the opposition attack today. Spectre has a throw in here, back to McNair, back to Spectre again, whips it into Murphy, it's wide. This lag is going to absolutely piss me off. Spectre, another throw in here, Scouse, Hyam, back to Spectre again, long ball to McGoldrick, it's cleared, only to Meekins though, back to Bishop, Scouse again, Berra, Bishop, Scouse, Meekins, McGoldrick, out to Spectre, crosses it in, it's cleared to Hyam, has a shot, it's over, whipped in by Bishop, Scouse, McNair, whoa, Hendry, tries long ball to Bradshaw, Nar picks it up though, out wide to Ford, come on Ford, Anthony Ford, it's 1-0, right on stroke of half time. By the way, that brand new kit, I'll show you that after the game. I did make new kits and they're absolutely beautiful. Half time here, Ipswich 0, Walsall 1. Bishop, Spectre, Scouse. Oh, they've scored. Daryl Murphy makes it 1-1. I thought we could hold on to that win there. Goal kick there. Oh, it's gone through. Oh my gosh, McKay picks it up and clears it. Kilgallen up again to McGoldrick. Out to Pearson though. Whips it in. Oh my fucking gosh. McGoldrick has scored. Made it 2-1. Full time here at Portman Road. Ipswich 2. Walsall 1. So there we go. Another loss. Still can't get a win. The next 3 games are Charlton, Bournemouth, Bristol, Bolton, Blackburn, Wolves. I'll be back for the Wolves game, local derby. Before we go, let's have a look at those new kits that I made. I mean, just look how I think they're absolutely beautiful. How nice they are. My first job as well, creating a kit. Yeah, I really do like them. Before we leave, I just want to say sorry for such a laggy game. My laptop does do that sometimes. It just decides when it wants to actually be pretty decent or be absolutely shit. Another loss. At this rate, I can see it's going from Super Saddlers to an unemployment save real bloody quick. But apart from that, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up, share it, tell your friends, subscribe. I've been Romano. As usual, you've all been awesome. Goodbye.